people constantly evaluate themselves and others in domains like attractiveness, wealth, intelligence, and success. According to some studies, as much as 10% of our thoughts involve comparisons of some kind. Social comparison theory is the idea that individuals determine their own social and personal worth based on how they stack up against others. The theory was developed in 1954 by the psychologist Leon Festinger. In our culture, a lot of times people advise us to compare yourself with others, like you should be like your father. You can win this, the others aren't as good as you, blah blah blah, and this is not always the best way of thinking. There are many reasons to change this way of thinking. So today, I am DAYINIE BINTI NOORZAINI, would like to persuade everyone that we should not compare ourselves with others, only with ourselves, because we are unique and this is the way it should be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you why we should not compare ourselves with others. Social comparison can motivate people to improve, but it can also promote judgmental, biased, and overly competitive or superior attitudes. Theodore Roosevelt called comparison as the thief of joy, and he may have been right. Most people have the social skills and impulse control to keep their standards for social comparison to themselves and not to act on any envy or resentment spurred by comparison making, but their true feelings may manifest in other ways. In addition, there will always be someone better than you. It doesn't matter in which aspect, but it is always true. Let's say you are an incredible architect and the best of your generation, and this can make you feel incredibly good. But if someday someone is better than you could feel sad, although you are still the same incredible architect that you were before. Hence, to halt the comparison habit, focus on bettering yourself and boosting your confidence. First thing first is you need to be aware of your triggers and avoid them. To improve your mental health and emotional well-being, list out the situations and circumstances that make you sad or cynical. Social media isn't the only thing harming our self-esteem, okay? Once you are aware of the situations that make you likely to engage in comparisons, you can take action to avoid them. Second is to focus on your strengths. You can be humble and still recognize your strengths, talents, and accomplishments. You don't have to beat yourself up to be humble. The more we compare ourselves to others, the worse we feel about ourselves. Now, that's a dangerous trap we've got to avoid. Thirdly, learn to compete with yourself. Instead of focusing on where you are compared to others, focus on your own goals. So, what will happen when you are still comparing yourself to others? Number one is it is damaging to your sense of self. Research has found that comparing breeds feelings of envy, low self-confidence, and depression, as well as compromises our ability to trust others. When comparing leads you to devalue yourself or others, you have entered dangerous territory. When we compare ourselves with others, we often aim to pretend we are something that we are not. Last but not least, it doesn't help you accomplish your goals. Ruminating about how someone else is better looking, has more friends, or is more successful than you is both time-consuming and ineffective. Being hard on ourselves actually zaps motivation and decreases goal completion. To conclude everything, you will always be losing if comparing is how you evaluate your worth. In this game of life, you will never reach a point where you are better than others. So next time you catch yourself using someone else as a benchmark for your own worth, stop and remind yourself how ineffective this strategy really is. The only comparison pattern that we really have is our consciousness. If we use this pattern, we will not feel less or more than others. We will not try to make others look bad. We will not judge so much, and we will accept ourselves as we really are. In other words, we will live happier than we are before. Thank you.